Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 1.6% to 56,730. Ethereum down 1.88% to 45.64. My mission is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, and also gain real wealth in the process. I focus on the institutional mindset. If that sounds good, please subscribe to YouTube. Just as cryptos have a trend, everybody's life has a trend as well. In our community, we focus on real wealth. Real wealth includes much more than just money and wealth and the good things in life, the good tangible things in life. It also includes all the beautiful intangible things, such as courage and honor, purpose and fearlessness, integrity, decency, kindness, empathy, and love. Many people have sought to create great wealth without creating meaning at the same time. Money without meaning is another form of poverty. That's why Rule 774 is so important. Master yourself to master the market. Mastering yourself is not easy. Life's internal battle is the real battle. It's not external. The battle is internal. People are literally programmed to self-sabotage and to experience self-doubt. That's why we do the Real Wealth series inside the KS community. If you would like to look at episode 349, that's 10 steps to master fear. Self-doubt and self-sabotage are hidden enemies when it comes to investing and trading. When you understand that you are worthy and unique, you're completely unique. There's only going to be one of you in existence for all of eternity, and therefore you deserve kindness, love, meaning, and every success in life, both financial and based on meaning. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Bitcoin's price action literally determines the price direction of the entire crypto market. Many people new to crypto just want to look at their beloved alts. They want to say, where is this alt going? What is the target? When do I buy? When do I sell? Without looking at Bitcoin. The answers to these questions are very, very difficult to determine. We can see Bitcoin has come down. The entire crypto market has come down with it. In fact, Bitcoin over the last 18 days has come down 22.82%. Let's have a look across some really well-known alts. We know that Bitcoin came down about 22.82%. Ethereum came down 19.62%. ADA 40.45% reduction. Binance Coin, BNB down 23.8%. XRP down 34.6%, Doge down 37.44%, DOT down 41.53%, and Solana down 30.38%. What you'll notice here is something really, really interesting. Look at the recovery. Look at how Ethereum is showing so much strength relative to Bitcoin, and Binance Coins showing so much strength. Sol is starting to pick up. DOT is just starting getting going, as is XRP. Institutional thinking is all about buying when the price sells off. And we can see Bitcoin came down 22.82%, but it's bounced up 11.12%. When we have a look at Ethereum, Ethereum came down 19.62%, but it's already bounced up 22.12%. This is why we catch the falling knives. Retail investors are always told, don't catch the falling knife. That's because that's what the institutions are doing. The institutions don't want you doing what they're doing. That's why we think institutionally inside the KS community. We can see Cardano came down 40.45%. It's bounced up 15.54%. Binance Coin dropped 23.8% but bounced up 29%. We can see XRP came down 34.6%, but it's already bounced up to the highest point at 16.76%. Doge came down 37.44% but bounced up 22.31%. If you think about that, buying these long tail rejections is incredibly profitable, but you must manage your trade. And all investors become traders whenever they buy or sell. DOT came down 41.53%, but has just rallied up to that peak 22.17%. We can see Solana, Sol, came down 30.38%, but it's already bounced up 28.57%. Out of these particular 8, which one do you think is the most has the most strength, and which one do you think will continue to forge its way up? This is why it's incredibly important to understand Rule 45. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Another major difference between retail thinking and institutional thinking. Institutional thinking, this is always a buy opportunity. As price comes down, if it is in the right part of the market segment, and we are in the right part, if it comes down, that is a definite buying opportunity, especially at levels of support. And we can see that there are always issues inside the market, both positive and negative. Let's have a quick look through Mt. Gox, Omicron, the India crypto ban, potential one, the debt ceiling, and Evergrande. Looking at the crypto fear and greed index, we can see there's a lot more fear in the market. When we get a lot of fear in the market, that's the absolute best time to buy. That's what we do when we think like an institution of one. The Mt. Gox remediation of 137,890 Bitcoin. So far there's been no movement in the Mt. Gox reserves. People have not got any Bitcoin from Mt. Gox. So that approximately $9 billion worth of Bitcoin has not moved anywhere. If you'd like to understand more about Mt. Gox, please refer back to episode 332. Let's have a look at Omicron and see what that is doing. We can see the map of confirmed and probable cases is growing. There are now 371 confirmed cases throughout the world. And the interesting thing is this BNO tracking COVID-19 variant has decided to take off the totals. But we can see that Omicron is actually spreading throughout the world, as is expected. We're always going to get new variants. This will not be the last. There's a lot of talk about Omicron and the fact that the Federal Reserve wants to decrease tapering and increase interest rates to fight inflation. What do we see about what's happening with inflation? Inflation has been on the decrease since approximately the 15th of November. It's been just plummeting down. We can see that in the 10-year break-even inflation rate and the 5-year break-even inflation rate. They've both been coming down, but the Fed is turning around saying inflation is out of control. We see that clearly in the particular chart of inflation expectations. That's just simply not the case. Looking at the transportation indexes, we can see that the airlines index, this one in white, has been coming down since the 27th of May. It's been on a downward slide since, well, even before that, the 5th of April. The airlines have been hit quite hard. We can see a number of transportation indexes all showing signs of weakness. What we can see in this blue line here, that's the Dow Jones Transportation Average, the DTX, also the NASDAQ Transportation, the TRAN, that's also coming down. iShares US Transportation ETF, the IYT, that's sold off sharply, and also the NASDAQ North American Transportation Index. Wow, the NQNAATT, wow, what a ticker. That has come down quite substantially, but that's come down since around the 8th of November. All of these transport indexes have been on the decline for some time. They've been decreasing since before Omicron was actually identified. We can definitely see that Omicron is starting to spread, but the numbers are incredibly low. We can see inflation is actually been decreasing for quite some time. The transportation indexes have been selling off for quite some time as well. The Indian government wants to introduce the India CBDC, which is the central bank digital currency. I did a deep dive into this in episode 344. What we need to see is how the market is reacting. We always go to the source data. I joined up to Wazirax, the Indian exchange, because I'm really interested in seeing data from the source always. We can see Bitcoin in terms of the Indian rupee. When the particular news hit the market of India banning crypto, we can see that Bitcoin sold off in terms of the rupee. And what we see now is that Bitcoin is just flatlining. Everything is fine in terms of it's not selling down dramatically. We're not getting behavior like this. That means the Indian market has stabilized to a degree, and there's optimism returning to the Indian market because we need to be aware of the overall trend. Let's have a look at the debt ceiling. I covered the debt ceiling in episode 332. We basically see that with the debt ceiling, the US government will potentially run out of money by December the 15th if the debt ceiling isn't paused or raised. We've been following this every day, and we can see that there's not really much activity in the market. We can see that the politicians are not treating this as any kind of event. And if you look back through past episodes, we have very thin media content. But however, I believe as we get closer and closer, what we're going to see is a flurry of activity because it sells news headlines. Of course, the debt ceiling will be increased or suspended. There is no question about it, but political machinations will rule in between that happening. Doing a search on the Wall Street Journal for the debt ceiling, we see government shutdown, deadline nears as deal eludes lawmakers. Of course it will elude them. They want to leverage this situation to the maximum extent possible. It just came out 8 minutes ago. That's just what politicians do. They try to leverage situations in their favor. The last thing we need to look at is the Evergrande debt crisis in China. We can see in the Wall Street Journal we're not getting really any discussion on Evergrande. But we really don't need to concern ourselves with news headlines. All we need to do is to look into the Chinese market and understand how these property developers are going. We've got 7 companies here with combined net debt exceeding $1 trillion. We notice that the price has tanked recently. There was a slight uptick. It's come down. It's basically the international community says that there are real problems in the Chinese property market segment, and the government, the Chinese Communist Party, will need to step in to save this particular sector. However, this will realistically play out towards the end of the year. We've still got about 26 days to go. When you see negative news, please just be aware of it. Don't panic. We always trade the chart in front of us. We trade the chart that we view. We're just aware of the risks because these risks are used by institutions to manipulate price. Institutions are always manipulating price and always trying to manipulate retail investors. What you need to do is simply have an upside and a downside risk strategy in play. That is, to think from an institutional perspective, make in advance probabilistic choices. Retail generally has one decision, one choice. It must go up. Therefore, when it goes down, it basically freaks people out. And they say, oh no, it's supposed to go up. I got it wrong. I need to sell. And they sell everything. And then the particular crypto will turn around tomorrow and go up 30%. It's really important to be able to withstand the turbulence of the crypto market. It's really, really volatile. I say it every day because it's so important to understand. Just have an in advance probabilistic choice. What will you do if crypto just goes to the moon, just explodes exponentially and goes up? What will you do if crypto implodes exponentially and goes down? For example, if Bitcoin went down to $45,000 tomorrow, what would you do? If Bitcoin and crypto, well, especially Bitcoin, if it went to $70,000 tomorrow or today, what would you do? If Bitcoin and crypto just went horizontal, just got really, really boring, and you wanted to poke it with a stick and say, come on, do something, you're so boring, what would you do? You need to have these three choices in your mind all the time. Don't just have one, have three. One final thing to gain overall context, we just need to look at the US stock market. The US stock market accounts for around 55% of global stock market value. We look at the leader. That's always important to do. Just like we look at the leader, Bitcoin, in the crypto market, we can see the VIX, the fear gauge of the market. It's spiked up. And what does that mean? People are getting spooked. They're actually selling off, and we can see quite a large sell-off in the Nasdaq 100. Is this something to be concerned about? No, not really. This is all just part of natural price action. We can see that the Nasdaq actually came up 16.7%. That is huge for the stock market. The stock market compared to crypto is like watching grass grow in terms of percent variation, percent movements. We see this reduction in price. Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. This is just a natural wave in price. And that's really important to understand. When people are new to trading and investing, they think any negative move or any negative news means it's all over. And they do the light switch effect. They go all in or all out, generally all out. And then they see price going in the other direction, then they go all in again. Anytime somebody says go all in or go all out, please be very careful of that person. I don't believe they have your best interests at heart. Institutional thinking never goes all in and never goes all out. Let's have a look at light crude oil. Oil is actually come down to a level of support here. It's selling off. What about the bond prices? Bond prices give us an indication if there is a flight to safety. The bond market is actually larger than the stock market in overall dollar value. And when you see bond prices going up, it means that investors are getting a little bit spooked. What we can see is bond prices. The bond prices in the US market are going up. This is not bond prices globally, it's just US bond prices. They're going up at the moment. That's a kind of a risk on. You'll see this interplay, this dynamic playing out all the time. You might notice Bitcoin's fingerprint in the background. That's how we compare the stock market to the crypto market. Let's have a look at bond yields. Bond yields and Bitcoin tend to move together, at least at the moment. We can see that the bond yields have been moving down. They're going to find a level of technical support and in all likelihood bounce up. We can see gold. Gold is really important to understand. As a former gold trader, gold is highly sensitive geopolitically and especially in terms of war. If war breaks out, you will see massive upticks in gold. And what are we seeing here? Not much. Gold is basically saying, yeah, I'm okay, I'm just chilling a bit, I'm waiting for the next crisis. So why don't we ask gold what it thinks about Omicron? Gold, what do you think about Omicron? Well, Ken, I think Omicron is a basic non-event. Oh my God, it's Sean Connery. Sean Connery is gold. Oh, thank you very much, Ken. I always knew Sean Connery was gold, but I didn't know he actually was gold. We'll have to talk to Sean at a later stage. Okay, the US dollar currency index. We can see the DXY is just coming down at the moment. That's why looking at Case Bitcoin is so terrific. We get an overview of the market. We see the S&P 500 is up 24% for the past year. Gold is down 2% for the past year, and Bitcoin up nearly 200% for the past year. So what are we really seeing? Let's draw all of this together into some sort of conclusion. We have, of course, negative news and positive news in the market. And the key is to look for the negative news, not to get freaked out about it, but to actually understand how we can take advantage of it and understand how institutions weave a narrative based around negative news. You can see over so many episodes, the debt ceiling has been an absolute non-event, and now it's starting to get serious, just as we said that it would. And what's going to happen? People could get really freaked out and we could get a bit of a dip. Now, if we get a dip, that's absolutely fantastic. That's where you use your 10-5-10 fund to buy, especially at lower levels. We are hoping for things like that because we know that when things sell off, they can come back very quickly. Just look at Ethereum. It came down 19.62%. That was across 16 days. It only took 4 days to rise up 22.12%. Institutions know this. They're banking on it. You should too. In episode 352, I did a deeper dive covering these 8 points on the KS model. The KS model is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology. We're in the bull market sunshine psychology state of the current market. Just to let people know, this blue dot and this green dot simply measure the point at which previous cycles actually finished. The blue dot is the 2012 halving cycle, and the green dot here is the 2016 halving cycle. What's important is to understand that these cycles are actually getting longer. The bull market section is getting longer. The bear market section is getting shorter, and also consolidation is getting shorter. If you're not quite sure what I mean, please have a look at episode 352. It will really help you, give you a lot of context. The dot was never the prediction price, just it's only the end of that particular period. I guess I could have put the dot underneath, but maybe that wouldn't have made much sense. Anyway, the particular thing that we want to note here, the minimum high that we expect for this bull market run is $132,418. That's very important, and episode 352 will explain the logic of why. There's also a Medium article that I wrote about 190 days ago explaining the KS model and this underlying background information. But the key is, we're in the bull market, positive psychology phase of the market. Yes, we've had a retrace to a level of support, and remember, crypto eats technical analysis for breakfast. Conventional TA leads people astray. That's why I've updated technical analysis to bring it up into alignment with crypto's price action, which is very volatile and completely exponential in nature. We can also see that the RSI is oversold. It's due for a bounce. We have the potential for a bounce from support here. We have an oversold RSI that has the probability of a bounce as well. I need to literally give you all that context so you can understand more fully what is happening with Bitcoin's and crypto's price movements. We can see the current price is 56,776. What is happening here? We've come up to a level of resistance. What is resistance? It's something that constrains price. It keeps the price below the level until price gathers momentum, gathers strength from support and can push through it. We've seen that level of resistance play out at 58,378, and price was rejected down from it. what is actually happening here. We've got two very good levels of support in terms of support lines, and a very powerful support line horizontally at 55,590. We can expect price could come down to 55,590, but anything can happen with Bitcoin. We also have an upwards support line here, which could witness a bounce fairly soon. With so much negative news in the market, so much media misrepresentation and sensationalism about the debt ceiling that no one looked at, but suddenly it's become an issue. It was an issue a long time ago. Evergrande, not many people are making an issue about that. We can see Omicron is very, very early days. Inflation, what inflation? It's decreasing. Tapering, that's just a political maneuver. We can see the transportation indexes have been coming down for a while now. Mt. Gox hasn't even happened. The Indian market is basically ignoring what's going on. And we can see overall price momentum in terms of this chart, in terms of the KS model, is really, really good. What's fascinating, if you watch this daily analysis, the mainstream media cannot pull the wool over your eyes. You know so much more than most people will ever know. And you've seen from the analysis of those top 8 cryptos, when you buy lower, especially the redder the better, that's what you want to do. You want to buy when it's red. You don't want to buy when it's green. You're buying too much when it's green. When it's red, that's when you buy. That's the focus. That's the institutional mindset. And you can become an institution of one. Ooh, how cool. What we're looking at here is we have good support at 55,590. We also have very strong support at 49,305. There's going to be a lot of buyers at the $50,000 mark and a lot of sellers at the $70,000 mark. There is going to be a battle that will be waged between the buyers and the sellers. And we know the overall price momentum is very, very positive. It's really important to explain the light switch effect. KS zone analysis are the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. Zone 1 is the panic zone. Zone 2 is the blame zone. Both zones are based on the fantasy that certainty exists in financial markets. It is a fantasy. There is no certainty in financial markets. There's only probability. What happens in Zone 1 and Zone 2? People go all in or all out. It's the hallmark of panic. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and fear of missing out reign in these 2 zones. Zone 1, the panic zone, is internal panic. Zone 2, the blame zone, is all about conflict. It's external panic. Getting beyond Zone 1 and Zone 2 is the focus of every investor and trader. They're horrible places to be, and every single investor and trader has been there. Not one has escaped it. And if they say they have, they're lying. It's not true. It's human nature when you put money on the line. You don't want to lose it. Of course, anybody who would say otherwise is kidding themselves. Zone 3 is all about probabilistic fearlessness. And that is a really, really important concept. Every day, I share hidden tricks and tips gained from over 3 decades in financial markets with you to build up the probabilistic fearlessness component of your personality. And it's very, very important to have patience and a lot of rules. You need the rules to know when to go in, when to go out, and when to sit on your hands. That also is important. That's why I say do your in advance decisions. Know what you will do if it goes up, if it goes down, or if it goes sideways. You don't have to have just one focus. In fact, if you have only one focus, you will be stuck in Zone 1 and Zone 2. Zones 1 and Zone 2 suffer the light switch effect. They go all in or all out. All in on FOMO, all out on fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Zones 3 and Zone 4 are like a dimmer. They scale in and scale out. Never all in, all out. It's just not happening in zone 3. And the key is zone 4, the meaning zone. Having money without meaning is just another form of poverty. Nobody wants to be there. I've known so many incredibly wealthy people that have a very, very little meaning in their lives. They are impoverished. Let's have a look across the metaverse and the community favorites. We can see Mana, Decentraland, is just a little bit under resistance. It's consolidating around the current price. We can see Axie Infinity above this support line and starting to follow Bitcoin's fingerprint. Notice how Bitcoin is reacting and Axie Infinity is reacting. This is really important to understand the dynamic between Bitcoin and a particular alt. If you focus on that, you'll be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Looking at Engine Coin is coming back to support, and we can see the real correlation between Bitcoin's fingerprint and Engine. Having a look at SLP, Smooth Love Potion. It's not very smooth at the moment, is it? What is it doing? Somebody wake up SLP. Basically, don't touch SLP unless you have a very strong stomach. Sand. We can see Sand coming back to support. Now, why do we focus on strength? Why don't we focus on weakness? Because weakness is weak. Strong is strong. You always want to back strength. It's really, really important. Even strength becomes weakness when it pulls back. And this might look like a really small pullback, but it's actually not such a small pullback. From around there down to there was around 42%, and that is with strength. You want to be careful about weakness. They can pull back and just keep on going. Looking at ILV, take a particular note of Bitcoin's fingerprint. What is ILV doing at the moment? If we just zoom in here, we can see Bitcoin spiking up, coming down. We can see ILV coming back to support. Just keep these relationships in mind. I'll go through this in great depth in the masterclass, but it's really important for you to get a handle each day about how these things move together, how cryptos and Bitcoin move together. We can see Alice coming back to support and has bounced up. CHR has come down from that resistance and it's not broken it yet. It's still under resistance. Let's have a look at the community favorites. We can see VRA. Look at how closely VRA follows Bitcoin's fingerprint. What do you think will happen when Bitcoin starts to improve to VRA? Please let me know in the comments what you think. Turning to Icon. Icon is just under resistance at the moment, coming into a level of support. We can see Theta. Theta is cradling. You can see how long this cradling can take to play out. It's really important to be patient. We can see IOTA. IOTA is also cradling. It could be looking really good. Matic, Polygon. What can we see with Polygon? Polygon is also cradling, but showing a great degree of strength. It's taking this upward support line and obeying it, and that's exactly what we want to see. Algo lost recently its support line, but it's back above it now. Go Algo. AVAX has been basically crawling along its support line and retesting, making it stronger each time. It's starting to get above resistance here, which is looking really, really good. Cartesi, a very spiky community favorite. These spikes, they can be 100% spikes. Cartesi is really quite an interesting project. We can see this upward abeyance of the support line. Always quite good to see that actually occurring in cryptos. Please let me know which particular alt you think has the greatest potential here and why, because many people have different styles. I don't recommend any of these particular community alts. They're just the alts our community loves. I'd like to thank all the very kind and generous community members who've reached out and shown their appreciation by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. Thanks so much, everyone. I'd especially like to thank my good friend, Purpuratum. Thank you so much. Amy, much appreciated for your time and analysis. Thanks so much, Amy. Rudy, you are so cool. Oh, this is so beautiful. We are only once here in Earth. Let's focus on being great. That's so beautiful, Rudy. You absolutely embody what we are about as a community. You remind me daily in your crypto review about that. Thanks for that. Thank you, Rudy. That's really nice. Steady improvement. Thank you, my friend. And June. Wow, June. June is such a beautiful community member. She's so incredibly wise and contributes so much to the community. Thanks so much, June. And to the community at large, I think you're just the most beautiful people I've ever met. Just every day, I feel honored to share this analysis with such an incredible group of people. I just want to thank everyone. June, Ken, I cannot thank you enough for making the videos that you make. Your KS model and Medium articles are valuable beyond measure for anyone in the crypto space who wants to create financial independence for themselves. I think about all of the people who can get out of debt, pay off their mortgages, work from home as a trader so that they can be with their children. Oh, that's just gorgeous. What I see inside our community are so many families, and I just love families coming together. I love families, husbands and wives and fathers and mothers bonding with their children more. I think it's just so beautiful. If you have any stories like that, please reach out to me on Twitter and share them. And I just love informing the community about it. Or you can just pop it in the YouTube comments. June was saying, we are experiencing an opportunity of a lifetime, and you're helping guide people into achieving their dreams. Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you, June. It's really nice. You are a shining star, my friend. Thank you a million times. Thank you so much, June. And thank you to everyone in the community. Like I say, the community is just filled with wonderful, wonderful people. I'm so honored to know you and call you my friend. I'd also like to thank the community members who regularly reach out and tweet me really fascinating things and direct message me. It's just a beautiful community. Anyone can reach me anytime at this particular Twitter address, at StanDfielD. And StanDfielD has 2 Ds. Somebody the other day said, Ken, why do you always say StanDfielD has 2 Ds? Because when you say StanDfielD, the middle D is silent and it's missed out by the majority of people. So I just like to pop that in. It does make a difference when it comes to things like emails and addresses and various things. So please feel free to reach out anytime and drop me a direct message if you like, or just drop me a public tweet, no problem. The masterclass is coming on December the 11th, and that's in response to so many people saying, Ken, can you please do deep dives on all the things that you talk about in each episode and give us all your secrets that you've amassed over 30 plus years? So it's on its way, everyone. If you would like to lock in your very substantial masterclass discount, please send me an email at ken@kenstanfield.com. I'm working day and night, literally, to get the masterclass content together. So if I'm a little bit delayed in getting back to you, that's why, but I will definitely get back to you. Tales from the Man Cave, Nick did a really beautiful animation on Rule 4, price moves in waves. It's really cool. Look at this wave. That's the wave of price. Oh, we got a whale here. What's the whale doing? He's spouting something. It goes up and it goes down. It's really important to understand this concept and to think, whoa, look at that dolphin. There's a message in that hat, I'm sure of it. It's really good to always understand price is always moving in a wave. Thank you, Nick. You're so talented. And if anybody else has things that they would like to share, please reach out and let me know. I love involving the community in what we do. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from, and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.